Hey there, Nation. Welcome to the show where we help you to play miniatures wargaming on a budget. It is I, Commander CheapSkate, and we are back with another episode of Hobbyside. This is a series that is dedicated to the building, painting, as well as assembling of our various miniatures for our studio armies. And on this special episode, we are taking a look at some scummers, hanger-ons, as well as brutes and hired guns that we have for our Necromunda Battle Report series, the Underhive Wars. So right now we're in the middle of our current turf war, which is the turf war for Sector 7. We just got done with the down phase for all of our different gangs. And at the same time, we also just ran a little mini campaign into the bad zones, where our 4 lowest tiered gangs actually fought a little mini campaign to level themselves up for the second half of our turf war. And right here now we have a bunch of hired guns, as well as some brutes and some hanger-ons that a majority of the gangs have hired for their different gangs and their different factions for our campaign. So as you can see, we have quite a bit of individual miniatures here. A lot of these are just basically conversions, is what a lot of them are. And there's a couple of ones that we have from some kits and things, but we're going to talk about exactly each one of these different gangs and the different hired guns that each of the gangs have hired. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this video report on a roll. Alright, so up first we have these 3 fighters here. These 3 fighters are the hired guns that I have actually recruited from my gang, the Jury, which is a Caldor gang. First of all, I got myself a new brute. This one here is Master Blaster is his name. It is a Stig Shambler is what it is. So if you're wondering why this guy has a little big guy with a little dude on his back, that's the reason why. So this is a converted model that I made for my brute for a Stig Shambler. Basically, it's just an orc knob with a, I don't know what you would call this, some kind of great weapon that it was from 40k kit. I took off the blades on it to make it look more like a hammer, and I replaced his head with a Ogre Kingdom's Iron Blaster driver's head to make it look like he's got a masked head, and then also mount on his back a heavy bolter as well. And then around the back here is another backpack. Originally this was from a Orcs kit. It was actually just like a little garrote that was in the backpack with a bunch of belt ammo off of him. That came with the, I think it was with a box set from some Orcs, I think is what it was. And I placed his head with a zombie head as well to make it look like a little degenerate little Caldor guy. So this is Master Blaster. Master's on the back and Blaster is the big guy. So this is our Stig Shambler that I hired for my gang. And then of course I also have 2 ammo jacks as well. This guy, his name is Sulaco is his name. This one is actually another conversion job as well. It actually consists of an Orlok body from the original box set of Necromunda that I cut off the arms for. And I replaced the arms with 2 arms from some Space Marines. This one actually comes from a Black Knights box set. And this one actually comes from a Death Watch box set. So that way this guy has a bolter as well as a power hammer. And this guy here is Nostromo. Nostromo is the other ammo jack that I have. This is also another conversion. I took a Chaos Cultist body and I chopped off the arms, replaced one arm with a Black Knight from the Dark Angels kit with a power pick. And at the same time I used another arm from that same kit to make a bolt pistol as well. And the head, if you're wondering what this is from, this is actually from a Hellstrider of Slaanesh. This is one of the heads that came with it. It has a little crazy mohawk with a unicorn horn. And I painted that up as well for my second ammo jack. So these are the 3 hired guns, 2 ammo jacks, as well as a Stig Shambler that we have for the Jury. Alright, up next we have 2 aimbots is what we end up having here. So this one is called Dagon, this bluish one with the orange hazard fist as well as shoulder pad. Dagon is an aimbot that was used for the Genestealer cult gang, the Red Faction. They decided to invest some points in hiring a aimbot for themselves, so this is Dagon is his name. And this red one here with the yellow hazard paint, this one's called the Mangler. It's recruited by my buddy O'Death for his gang, the Peep Leaders. So the Chaos Cultists decided to hire a aimbot as well to get that done too. So these ones are actually not conversions. These ones are actually just from the normal box set of miniatures that you can get from Necromunda for the aimbot. It's actually a pretty good box set. You actually get 2 different aimbots. And the nice thing about that kit is that you could actually kind of customize them to actually have like their own kind of stances and stuff. So these look really cool as well. And so these are the 2 aimbots that we're using for both of those gangs. So this one's going to the Genestealer cults, and this one is going to the Chaos Cultists as well. So those are the aimbots that we have for our hired guns. Alright, so up next for House Goliath, the Pelagos Slam Kings, we have a bunch of hired guns for those guys. We actually have Grishka back here, which is a Goliath Zerker. We'll talk about that guy here in a second. We have an ammo jack named Ragnarson is his name, which is this guy here. He's a conversion job. Then we have these 2 guys, which are Hive Scum. This is Dromos here on the left, as well as Squee here on the right. And these guys are all conversion jobs as well. So let's go and start with Ragnarson real quick. So Ragnarson here is our ammo jack. He is a conversion as well. He's actually made from the old Goliath kits that came with the original box set of Necromunda. Replace his head with a Reaver head to make him look really cool. This left arm here, right arm here, is from a Gene Stealer cultist. I believe it's a hybrid occultist that has like demolitions there. And then we have a power sword from an old, kill team arm that we just kind of cut off the forearm for and attach on for a power sword. His pack, we have some demolition charges from a Black Knight's kit from the Dark Angels with a power pick on the top of it to represent a power hammer. And then around the back here we have a bolt gun as well. We just had a spare bolt gun lying around. And so we painted this guy with yellow and some blue accents as well. This is Ragnarsson, the ammo jack for the Pelago Slam Kings. The next conversion that we have here is Dromos. Dromos is a hive scum. My friend, Brother Grimm, actually has a fighting pit as one of his territories, and as such he gets 2 free scummer that he can actually hire every single time he does a battle report. So this is Dromos. This guy is actually an old Goliath kit as well. We've actually did quite a bit of conversion work on him. The head is a Reaver Space Marine helmet with the arms coming from an Orc knob, and then we have this huge like power axe looking thing that this guy is carrying. So this guy is very much kitted out for close combat. In the back here is a Dark Angels Black Knight rucksack as well as sleeping bag that we actually got from an old Black Knight kit from the Dark Angels. And the next hive scum that we have, this is Squee. Squee is actually another conversion as well. We have some Chaos Marauder legs attached to a Katachan chest with some vests, sleeveless vests. The arms are actually from 2 acolytes, hybrid acolytes from Gene Stealer cultists. So the one here is holding a hand flamer, the one's holding out a pistol, and the head comes from actually an old engineer from the Empire box set as well. And so we painted this guy up too, and it looks really, really good. And then of course, the pièce de résistance, the big guy here, this is Grushka. Grushka is a Goliath Zerker, and this is actually from a miniature line called War Machine, made by Privateer Press. I am not sure what this miniature is actually called. What happened was that my local game store had kind of like a little auction going on, where people were just basically selling their used models, and I found this guy at that model shop at my local game store, and he was selling them. I bought them for $5. And so he was already assembled like this too, with this really crazy looking hook hand and this giant maw looking thing. I guess it's a mouth, I don't know what it is. But I thought it looked really, really cool. It looks exactly like all these tanks and pipes and wires and stuff coming off him. This looks like exactly what I imagine what a Goliath Zerker would look like. So I bought this guy up as well, painted him up with the orange color from the Pelago Slam Kings. And he comes out really, really cool looking. A lot of detail on this guy. Looks like a muscled out, steroid out monster. And that's Grushka, which is the Zerker for the Goliaths for the Pelago Slam Kings. Alright, up next we have 3 new miniatures that we actually have for Section 8, our Venator gang, which is played by my friend Dark Lord Mac. These are his 3 members that add to his gang. 2 of these guys, of course, you guys recognize as Cal Jericho as well as Scabs. They are special characters from Necromunda box set. And this guy here is Doolin. This is a converted job as well. This is actually his House Goliath Legacy Venator Hunter. So if you want to know what this guy's made out of, this is actually just the torso and legs from a Khorne Berserker. We then took a spare Stormcast Eternal's head and trimmed the top off to make a mask. The arm here with the bolt pistol, this giant pistol looking thing, this is supposed to be a stub cannon. This belongs to an orc. And the same with this power axe. This belongs to another orc as well. And it's supposed to be a brute cleaver though for the Goliath. So this is a House Goliath Legacy Hunter named Doolin. And then over here, of course, we got Cal Jericho. He's a special character from Necromunda. So we painted this guy up to make him look like the dashing rogue that he is. So my buddy Dark Lord Mac paid for that guy for his gang. And then, of course, we also have Scabs. And Scabs is his loyal sidekick because over the plasma gun. And so that is his loyal sidekick for that gang as well. We decided to keep the pant color as well as the jacket color the same color to represent these 2 guys are a pair. And so these are the hired guns that have been recruited for Section 8 of the Venator gangs for our campaign. And lastly, we have our 2 last miniatures for our gangs. This guy over here on the left, this guy is called Drix the Maw is his name. And Drix the Maw is a House Delac Spiker, I believe is what they're called. They're kind of like these hovering, kind of floating psychic things with the oblong heads and little servo harnesses and stuff to make them fly around and whatnot. So this is the Spiker that has been hired for House Delac for the Sleeping Dogs. This is from my buddy Sergeant Sigmarine. And this miniature, I believe it's also from War Machine as well. I'm not really sure what it's called. I mean, the guy I bought it from, I'm sure he told me, but I wasn't paying attention when I bought him. Like I said, I got this guy, and same thing with this guy over here, the big, huge monster guy. I got them from a auction that was going on at my local gaming store. A bunch of guys took their old stuff and they were selling it off. So these two guys are War Machine guys. I got that guy away for $5, and I think I got this guy for like $2 or $3. I forgot how much he cost. He was like a pewter model too, which is actually kind of cool. This guy, by the way, when I got him, he was horrifically painted. The guy was using, I guess, spray paint and try to paint up his guys, and it just looked really horrible. So I had to strip this guy down to make sure I take off all the paint off of him. So he came out really cool too. I painted him to make him look exactly like the Sleeping Dogs with the dark brown coat. He's got the black helmet with the squid-looking type head on it to represent the fact that he's like a spiker. So that's a really cool one. And this one here, this is Doc Dealgood. This guy is supposed to be a cargo hauler servitor that these for the gang, the Iron Sights, which are House Orlok gang. This is their brute that they can hire. Now, according to the descriptions in the rule book, the servo cargo hauler servitors are actually on tracks, what they say. They say they're like on little tractors. So because of that, we decided to convert this guy over. This guy's actually from I believe it's called a servitor servo hauler. I think that's what it's called. It came with a box. It was some Kill Team terrain that I bought a while back. So I just basically took this little tractor thing and took off the back here, and then of course I attached a torso to it. I took some saw blade looking things that I had laying around. I'm not sure where I got that from. I mounted an Orc Boy body to that to make it look like he's part of it. So that's why he's got the power claw over here on the left hand side. And I took a spare assault cannon from one of my Space Marine kits that we had, and I attached it to his other arm. And the head, of course, is an Ogre Kingdom's Iron Blaster pilot's head with some orange hair, because why not? Paint this guy a bright yellow color to make it look like he's a piece of construction equipment to keep people aware of what's going on. So yeah, that is the servo hauler that we have for our Orlok gang. His name is Doc Dealgood. So yeah, that's good for this one, you guys. Here are the hired guns, the hanger-ons, the brutes, as well as the scum that we have for our upcoming turf war for the second half of our Sector 7 turf war for our Necromunda campaign. That's good for this one, you guys. It was a lot of fun to put together and paint up and come up with names and backstories for each of these guys. So yeah, as always, guys, please feel free to like, comment, and or subscribe. Your guys' input is invaluable to us as always. Also check us out on Facebook, Instagram, as well as blogger.com for all these greatest news about the hobby aspect of our channel. That's good for this one, you guys. You guys stay classy. Peace out.